When Anna received the invitation to her uncle's old mansion, she first thought it was just another formality, a family gathering, a chance to see a legacy she had never cared about. But as she approached the mansion, her heart began to race. The building stood atop a steep hill framed by dark trees, and at sunset its spires seemed almost black against the sky. She arrived late in the evening. The wind rustled dry leaves and the gates creaked as if warning her of something. Anna felt a strange excitement, but the key in her hand was warm, as though the house itself accepted her. Inside, the mansion was quiet. Dust covered the furniture, and the old chandeliers swayed slightly above her, casting eerie shadows. Each step she took echoed through the vast halls. The portraits lining the walls seemed to follow her with their eyes, silent witnesses of centuries past. Her uncle had been a recluse, known for his strange experiments and obsession with memory and time. Anna had only met him twice as a child, but she remembered him muttering about capturing the essence of a place and how walls remember more than people ever will. She had laughed at the time, assuming it was just his eccentricity. Now, standing in the mansion, she wasn't so sure. The first night, she tried to sleep in a small guest room. The bed creaked beneath her weight, and the wind outside whispered through broken shutters. She dreamed of the halls stretching endlessly, doors opening to rooms that weren't there, and shadows moving just beyond her sight. She woke with a start, feeling the chill of the room and the unmistakable sensation that she was not alone. The next morning, she found the portraits slightly tilted, though she was certain she hadn't touched them. A chair was moved from the dining room, and the faint sound of footsteps echoed from the upper floors, though no one was there. Her unease grew, but curiosity pushed her to explore. On the third day, Anna discovered a library. The shelves were lined with dusty books, their spines cracked with age. One volume caught her attention, a leather-bound journal with her uncle's initials. Inside, he had written about experiments to preserve consciousness within walls, describing strange rituals and mirrors meant to capture reflections of the soul. That night, she couldn't sleep. Drawn by an unseen force, she walked to the mirror in the hallway. It was tall, cracked across the middle, and fogged with age. When she wiped it clean, her reflection smiled before she did, a subtle but unnerving delay. The house seemed alive. Doors opened and closed on their own. Whispers came from the walls, soft and insistent, repeating fragments of words. Stay, remember, become. Her rational mind struggled to dismiss it as imagination, but the air itself felt watchful, almost sentient. By the fifth day, Anna realized she couldn't leave. The front door was locked from the outside. Windows refused to open. Every corridor twisted unnaturally, leading her back to where she had started. Panic set in, and she tried calling for help, but her phone screen flickered and died. Then came the dreams, more vivid than before. She walked the halls, but it wasn't her body moving. She could see herself from a distance, guided by some invisible hand. In the library, the journal opened by itself, pages flipping until it stopped on a page she didn't recognize. Written in her uncle's spidery handwriting were the words, "She remembers now." When she awoke, she was standing in front of the mirror. Her reflection crouched, tilting its head curiously, almost predatory. It spoke without moving its lips. "You cannot leave. The house remembers. And now so do you." Anna screamed and ran, but the halls twisted and closed behind her, leading her back to the mirror. Exhausted, she sank to the floor. The reflection crouched closer, its eyes dark and hungry. The cold grip of her own reflection reached through the glass, and everything went black. Weeks later, neighbors reported the mansion was empty. Dust covered the floors, the furniture hadn't moved. But if anyone dared look closely into the cracked mirror in the hall, they could see her, standing, waiting, remembering.